and welcome to So You Think You Can Dev, a KMS debrief on all things digital. Today, we'll be discussing software development in fintech. So how can fintechs accelerate software development and prepare for a more global, connected, and integrated world? We'll be exploring the factors impacting fintech, discussing how to speed up development, and diving into global payments processing in particular. So I'm really excited today because we have Abhishek Nema, the Vice President of Corporate Strategy and Development. So how are you doing today, Avi?
Thanks, Eddie, for having me here today. My name is Abhi, and I'm the Vice President of Corporate Development and Strategy at KMS, where I am responsible for looking all the strategic initiatives across the business lines. But in my previous roles in KMS and outside of KMS, I have been on the revenue generation side, where I was looking at the customer acquisition, customer retainership, and growing the new market for the BFSI vertical across the globe, especially in Europe and in Asia.
And Avi is joined by Dwi Lei, the President of KMS Solutions. Welcome, Dwi.
Hey everyone, my name is Dwi Lei. I'm leading the KMS Solution, which is a business line of KMS Technology. We focus in Asia Pacific region, and we provide the technology, solution and services, particularly, in the fintech and banking space.
We're excited to have you both here today. So KMS Solutions is a business line of KMS Technology. It's a trusted financial services and technology provider in the APAC region. So both Dwi and Avi have a wealth of experience in helping fintech companies optimize development. Now, I'm really excited to jump into this content here because if you're a fintech company, you surely understand time to market pressures, the challenges in cybersecurity. There's increasing trends in global payments, and you probably feel a lot of pressure to accelerate development. So why don't we start by diving in there? Can you guys talk about the challenges fintechs are facing in regards to speed to market and the pressure?
Sure, Eddie. Let me jump in over here and take this, and then we can add more to it. Fintechs, it's a growing market. Fintechs has been one of the key challenges or disruptor to the established legacy players. However, they keep facing some challenges, which are regulatory compliances, because it's a complex web of financial regulations that they have to navigate, and which definitely impacts their product development. Then there are challenges like resource skills. Finding resources and retaining resources is a key issue to them. Then they have to do the technology integration. Integrations, it's not just integration to the new age systems. They have to integrate with the legacy technologies, which definitely reduces their time to market. And then the competition, fintech space is hugely crowded. It's not something which is siloed in any of the areas that you see. And then they need to differentiate quickly. And finally, the most important thing is the user retainership, because if they don't retain the customers that they onboard, their revenue gets impacted. So these are some of the challenges that fintech face regularly, day in and day out, which definitely impact their time to market. Do you want to add something to?
Yeah, I echo all that, Abhi. What I have seen so far, more of the opportunity side than, challenges always there, right? But more of the opportunities side. I saw the major, you touched upon a little bit already. I saw like two major movements so far. The first thing is, you see a lot of fintech nowadays got supported with better tool, better technology, better platform, and more work on integration side, right? We're talking about in the past, like, you have to do everything by yourself. Now you have like the whole ecosystem, right? Very well developed and very mature to support you with all the integration needed. And all of that is within the context of the cybersecurity and fraud management, so on and so forth, right? And the second thing, at least I can see probably more recently is all around the AI, right? That's more of the opportunity for, the fintech to use as a weapon, to accelerate the software development, get the features out to the market, faster validate and pivot if needed, right? So those are the two major things I would see, is emerging, and there's no more exciting time to be in fintech space right now with all the things available, in the hands of developer and in the hands of the startups.
Gotcha. I think you both touched on some pretty interesting things. So we have a lot of systems kind of interacting, a lot of maybe third parties that weren't there before. So it seems like one thing that's becoming increasingly important and probably is adding to a lot of the challenges that fintechs are facing, especially when it comes to speed, is this need for integration. I mean, I think you touched on it a bit, but globalization is a huge driving force, especially with payment processing. So can you guys speak to that aspect of things? How, when it comes to integrations in payment cross processing, what should fintechs consider?
Yeah, I think I can start first, and maybe Abby, you can add more. So the payment among in the fintech space, right? We saw like in the past that the payment is one of the fintech starter. Now the payment has evolved more over the time to become more consumable to other companies, right? Be it like a big retail companies, be it a new fintech startup, they want to have some API available for integration in the payment space. There's something there, right? And especially in the emerging, countries, the payment, the e-wallet, people, probably they skip the credit card. They have the e-wallet with the where they keep their money is, and they want to move the money around. They want to pay for the bill. They want to do some, small investment on the side through that e-wallet. So in the past, like everybody tried to build this own thing. Now it's already very specialized. Some people got more into the payment service provider, so they build very comprehensive platform that serve those certain purposes, in a certain geo, very well ready. So now, if you are on the side of, you need some payment, right? The mentality in the past try to build this and that, right? Because that's what developers do. Nowadays, you're gonna think like how you gonna integrate, where, who are the best PSP that you want to integrate, and all of those API and standards have been very mature enough, well tested, with the regulation, with all the cyber security requirement that you can adapt and use at the service. So virtually you can get the product or feature out of the market a lot faster than before. And consume those services and pay as you go, right? Instead of spend a lot of expenditure to do something similar, which take a lot more time to do. So for the payment, I would say, if you are in the fintech space and you have the transaction going, think before you build something, take a look into what available to meet the use cases, the feature, and see how you're going to integrate. And that can happen, across the border too, not just within your geo lock space, but it can be, across the border with a wider option, so you can have better coverage of the transaction, reach out to the new user base. So the possibility is, unlimited right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Avi, yeah, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, and just to elongate what we just mentioned, especially around integration, the customer demands these days is to have a very seamless, integrated end-to-end financial services product for them. They like to have something which is well integrated. And if you look at the financial market, current banking systems, they do not have common standards for data exchange. For an example, third-party integrations, they need an effortless interoperability in terms of data and systems. So to do those things, you need some specific skills, but at the same time, you also need people with the knowledge about the new age technologies like blockchain, which is some of the estimates says an estimate by Deloitte said that close to $10 billion of transaction was facilitated through blockchain by 2023. So those kind of things will keep increasing. They will keep impacting and challenging the fintechs to come out with newer solutions, faster solutions, and they need to adopt to these not just local laws, they need to adopt to the international laws, because it's a global market. As you said, globalization impact a lot of their needs. So the global market mandates them to not just follow one country's specific law, but the international laws as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds like something like currency exchange, to your point, could be really complicated, but it also sounds like a good opportunity to differentiate. Maybe there's a lot of potential revenue opportunities there if fintechs can really master that complexity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. And I think another big thing that, in part of globalization, generative AI has really just taken things by storm. So it's impacting pretty much every industry, and fintech is no exception there. How should fintechs approach AI as a means of accelerating their software development?
Yeah. To be honest with you, AI has been there for some time. It's not something that we are now hearing. AI we have been hearing for some time, and some of the earliest adopters of AI, they used it for real-time fraud detection and financial analysis. Uh, so so now the next extension of AI, where I see a lot of fintechs making use, is in the cybersecurity. It's like, not spending a lot of time to generate the code, but spending a lot of effort on in making sure that your code is secure. There is no using it for real-time suspicious activity monitoring. They can streamline a lot of processes and time to the market, as there is a lot, the vast amount of data to be scrutinized, analyzed, and processed. This actually limits their time to market. So, for example, like something processed like an KYC, AI can play a tremendous role over there in adopting to the different KYC requirements of the different geos, and AI can faster the entire process.
Yeah, so you touch upon more like a AI, to the business side, right? So under the hood, I just want to touch upon a little bit under the hood of what AI mean to a fintech so far. And you are correct, AI has been there for quite some time. But the new model coming out is getting better for general model, and then it's getting into more specialized vertical model right now, right? So what happening? I see like the AI happening as the at the LC software development lifecycle level. So it's help accelerate a lot to help developer, at least like the co-pilot, right? They help the developer write better code faster, right? And the future getting into the hand of the user a lot faster, nowadays. So that's movement has been there and got accelerated in the past 12 months, I would say, and it's continue on that trend, gonna be very soon for that AI side. And the other side in between internal and external is, it's just not what happened in the kitchen. AI make the impact there, but to the table as well, right? Interacting with the end consumer. So I would say for the AI thing, one of the thing is have to expose the knowledge base in better way to the end consumer. Meaning in the past, like we got something like chatbot, right? To interact and give the answer, but without the contextual, right? And without, the access to the large model, right? With a good knowledge base to answer properly. So now if you will see some of the fintech, you saw the headline recently with Gartner. They use it to, improve the throughput of the customer services, right, by half. So they could use it as a knowledge base for generic question inquiry and support with the right, AI, generative AI model, access to a large knowledge base they have. They can expose the answer and give the support faster, right? So you can see more of the cases like that. And the other thing, you can see more of the product set they call micro segmentation based on, the AI, learning the pattern of the end consumer. For example, right now, if you go into some of the developing countries and you do some loan, you make some loan, right? It's like micro loan. You don't need like a big ticket item like a car or a house, but smaller ticket item to buy some daily needs, right? So they can evaluate based on your pattern and segmentize the product just based on what they know and learn about you. So every financial product they funnel to the consumer gonna be further micro segmented to meet the need of the end consumer. So they don't have one size fit this segment, this product fit this segment, but it's gonna be very personalized level for lending. And thanks to the power of AI to learn the pattern and to, shape the more real-time product offering with the right risk level to the end consumer. So things like that, to change what to be on the table as well, in the fintech space with AI.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is on, the business side, you can use generative AI to offer more custom options, custom products that really speak more to that audience. You might be able to open new revenue streams or pull in an audience you wouldn't have otherwise been able to reach. On the customer side, maybe you're getting a better experience. You're not getting pushed products that you wouldn't use in the first place. Maybe it makes it easier on both sides. I think hopefully that would be a really interesting use case that fintech should consider for Gen AI. So I think that's awesome. So I mean, I think based on this conversation, we're seeing, okay, we're looking at integrations, we're looking at AI. There are key things that fintechs need to consider in development, but at the core of this, you still need some just really good software developers, right? You can't leverage generative AI or work with integrations if you don't have the kind of talent and skills that you need. So what should fintechs look for in terms of like the technical skill sets for their development teams?
Yep. So I think I can hit the first note first from the rational standpoint, right? What's out there, because it's our daily job to interact with, the fintech companies, in terms of the help and support for development. So so far, fintech, tech talent is rare, right? So I put it this way: tech talent is there, fintech talent is more rare. And fintech, because they want to do one thing and they want to do one thing well. They specialize, and probably they're gonna have some trade secret they want to keep in house, right? So to engage the fintech, there are two parts to think of. One part is like the talent as a pure. How are we gonna take it into a talent and say that's the right one for us, right? And I like one of the analogy one of the partner the other day mentioned to me around, it's a fintech company in Australia, and he mentioned like for the fintech, the first thing is to build a skeleton, meaning you have the right tech people to anchor, the business, to know very specialized knowledge, in the fintech space. The technical skill and technical stack is already given. This person need to be very specialized and need to be able to navigate and explore, because in the fintech space, every cycle is very short. You try something and you're gonna fine tune, you pivot or you improve it, right? So it's happened not just at the product owner level, but at tech engineer level, they need to have the mindset, this is the way, it should be. I anticipate it's going to be working, but this is going to turn out how we're going to do better. So that mindset of not just to build the future to, from the description by somebody else, but understand what the need and how to be the future, how to push out and see the outcome and reiterate it over the time, right? So that's one of the rare skills for the people in the skeleton. And then you can build up the muscle. When everything already flashed out, you want to build more of the feature, make it easier to you, make it simpler, of the user experience. Instead of 5 or 7 steps, you can do like 3 steps, how to do it, to build more features around. So that's muscle gonna come in, right? So skeleton is very important. Core member on the team, make sure they have all of those, indicators to get on board, to retain them, and to be more things, right? And the second angle to take a look into it is at a certain point you got to scale, right? And then probably it's going to be later part we can talk more like what you want to keep in-house and what you're gonna push out a little bit to get the support from the right partner and what characteristic you look at them. But we can talk a bit later at that point.
Yeah. And I mean, fintechs are no exception to any other industry, right? They need all kind of software developers. But what's important for fintech is they are in a position where they can turn these challenges into opportunities, right? They are in this space because it's a very multifaceted, multi-dimensional industry. And it's very they are more into innovation. They innovate, they adopt to some of these AI, ML, blockchain technologies quite early. Most of the fintechs are SaaS enabled, so they are on cloud. And those are the things that they need to have as skill in their ecosystem and not just traditional skills, right? And that's where they face a lot of challenges because these technical skills, while they are there, software as a whole has grown to almost 30 million developers across the world. But then having the right skill, right process, right tools, what they need is crucial because some of the fintechs can face a lot of downturn in terms of their cost and time to market if one of the decisions that they take in implementation goes south, right? For example, one of the fintechs recently has a bill of close to $1.75 billion on their cloud infrastructure against a revenue of 4 billion. 4 billion is a huge number by any market revenue standards, but they are spending $1.75 billion in per year cloud infrastructure cost. So those are some of the optimizations that they have to do from time to time. And the skill set that they need is an amalgamation of people who understands domain, who understands technology, but at the same time, they also understand the new age technologies, which is, the AI, MLs and the blockchains of the world.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I think those are very informative responses on what fintech should consider in terms of their software development teams. And we actually just had a conversation earlier in our previous episode with KMS Healthcare. They were talking about how you might have to look outside of the US. You might have to look at offshore talent, even nearshore talent, look at global sources because these are very in-demand, hard to find skills. So I think that's another factor that might be impacting your talent search.
Absolutely. And retention is one of the key challenges because good talent doesn't stay long, right? And then the primary job or the skill set is not to hire people. The primary job is to take products to the market, service the customer. So that's one challenge that the fintech execs face day in and day out. They can't be the recruitment engine of their firms, right?
No, exactly. I think that's a great point. And I think it really does speak to all the things that fintech companies must consider, the competition. You have to focus. Dewey, as you said, you can't focus on 30 things as a company. You have to focus on one thing and do it really well and work with other third parties and really have your ducks in a row in terms of your technical skills to make sure that you can meet those high demands. We are reaching the top of the hour. So Dwi and Abhi, thank you so much for joining us today. I think we all learned a lot about fintech and how fintechs can accelerate their software development. Listeners, we will have another episode out for you shortly. But if you're interested in learning more from either Dwi or Abhi, or just want to learn more about fintech software development in general, please reach out to us. Please go to the KMS Technology website and click on the Contact Us button in the top right corner, and we would love to hear from you. We would love to talk to you. And if you have any other interesting topics that you'd like to hear on this podcast, please feel free to submit them. We are always looking for new thought leaders to join us. So thank you very much. Appreciate your time and have a great rest of your day.